A Trump supporter told me they were struggling to buy groceries and that they were getting laid off of work because of Trump's tariffs, and I started busting out laughing real hard, stomach hurting. And then he said, oh, it's funny that I'm struggling. And I said, well, yes. God forbid a man is ecstatic, you're getting what you voted for. And then he started squinting his eyes like this. And I was like, what are you looking for, your job? Because it's gone. And then I started laughing again, and he got real mad, and he walked away. And then I said, were you walking to the food pantry? Because you can't afford grocery prices. I went to the floor laughing. I was banging on the floor laughing real hard. Then everyone around me was like, you ate that shit up, you ate that shit up. And then I woke up. But moral of the story, don't tell me you're struggling if you're a Trump supporter.
I don't give a fuck if I'm crying. I don't fucking care. America, we're struggling, man. We're dying every fucking day, bro. We got to hear about another friend that blew his fucking head off. Another friend that fucking overdosed. Another friend that fucking did something stupid. Another friend that fucking... Everyone fucking hates, dude. We're very lonely, America. This is from a veteran. We're fucking dying. We're fucking dying, dude. You can't just feed us pills and say, here's fucking $100 a month. Go fuck yourself. I don't care if I sound like a bitch. We need something to fucking happen, bro. Fuck you.
The MAGA wore the red hats, they rallied, voted, and believed every word. But now some of them are walking away, not with a bang, but with quiet, painful regret. In today's video, we unpack the growing wave of MAGA regret in America and what it reveals about broken promises, economic collapse, and the cost of believing in the dream of making America great again. So stay tuned so that we may unpack what is really happening.
Texas completely shut down. And the reason for this shutdown was because...
All right, MAGA, here's your chance. Go claim those jobs that all the illegal immigrants were stealing from us people. Go take care of the fields and take it before our food, production and everything completely collapses in this country. Like, go get your jobs. They're open. Go get them. I'm on vacation from mine currently, so I don't need a job. I provide for myself, no benefits from the United States or anything. So, yeah, go get your jobs. They're open. These farms had to shut down because they don't have people to work the fields. Go get them jobs. Go get them.
I've already appealed. I'm going to fight for my job back. I took an oath of office to fight for this administration. And although I don't agree what's happening or what's going on, please, I don't want to hear the negative stuff. I don't want to hear it. We're going through it right now. All us government, all us federal employees are going through it. So the negative stuff, it doesn't help. This sucks.
This is the perfect kind of example of a Trump supporter that I will not support and I will not meet halfway. Because this is someone who wants to skip the step of accountability. She voted for this man. She lost her job because she voted for this man. Yet she says she still supports this administration and wants to get her job back. She wants all of us to feel sorry for her that she lost her job. For all of us that said that this was going to happen, that warned her, to feel bad for her and skip the step of saying, hey, you did this. You're the cause of it. Now you have to deal with the consequences. No, she wants us all just to skip that part and just feel bad for her. She has not learned anything. She has not learned how her vote has caused her to lose her job, and she would rather have us feel bad for her than have us say to her, this is what you did, take some accountability, take some responsibility. She only speaks about how she's appealing for her job. Screw all the thousands of people that also lost their job right along with her, whether they voted for him or didn't vote for them. How is she fighting back for those people? This is the type of person that I say, you effed around and now you're finding out. And you deserve it. You deserve exactly what's happening to you.
Is anyone else completely sick and tired of living in America, where you're expected to work your entire life. Like, we are not here to work. Our jobs are not our lives. Our jobs are not our purpose. Like, everyone asks me, like, what's your job? What are you doing with your life? Like, I'm just trying to save enough and get passive income so I can go travel the world and start my life. Like, everyone thinks their purpose is to work. Like, you get done with high school, then you go to college for 4 years, then you're $30,000 in debt, and then you're trying to find a job just so you can pay off that debt over the next 3 years. And then what? Then you're making enough money just to pay your mortgage and afford groceries and then pay for kids. And then before you know it, you're 60 and you're retiring and your body hurts because of your job and you didn't do anything that you wanted to do. And that's our life. That's what you're expected to do. And if you break out of that, then people are going to judge you and think you're weird or you're crazy or you're a hippie. I'm so sick of it. America needs to make a change. Something needs to change because people are not happy here. People are not living their dreams. People are not living their life. They are working. They think that their work is their life. It is not that way.
I think people will look and say, but wait a minute, they're Americans who are unemployed. Why can't you just hire them?
They don't want to come out here and work in this extreme conditions, 100+ degree temperatures, dust, hard work.
What if you paid them more?
It doesn't matter. We pay some of the highest wages for farm workers in the nation right here in California, and they won't come out. In California, we grow about 50% of the fruits and vegetables and nuts for the country. And any shortage of food like that is going to impact everybody in the nation, because not only will food be less available, it'll be more expensive.
Manuel Cunha Jr. runs the Nisei Farmers League, a trade organization representing farmers and farm workers in the Fresno area. He says Trump's promise to deport all undocumented migrants would disrupt the entire country.
If you took away my workforce, you wouldn't eat. If you go into the San Joaquin Valley and you start doing what you're saying, it's over.
Overnight, multiple farms in the state of Texas completely shut down. And the reason for this shutdown was because they have lost almost 100% of their workforce. Now, we know this is the result of the immigration raids and stricter enforcement, but the ripple effect is going to be felt all the way across this country. Now, you've got crops that are rotting in the fields. You have livestock that is not being attended to at all. And that takes a lot of personnel. And we're talking, so now we're getting every area of food to include meat. And the communities that surround these farms, those businesses and those people who depend on the income from these farms, it's creating disasters for small communities in Texas. Now, this is not stopping at Texas farms. This is going to end up all the way across America, especially in the breadbasket, the middle of the nation, because they have tons of immigrant help. But folks, the alarm bells are ringing. Your food on your plate is being affected. So you got to think about it.
The cost of living in this country is currently, it's not going to be, it is currently unsustainable. And there are people that they know this, but then they'll still look at somebody else that's struggling and then tell them they're not doing good enough. I want you to imagine somebody that makes $75,000 a year. That's a pretty high up wage in terms of like top earners in this country, $75,000 a year. And we're going to go through some things here. This is a person with no debt outside of a car. And please don't hit me with the, you can go buy a car for, shut up, you can't, shut up, stop saying ridiculous things. An entry-level decent car is $30,000. So this person who puts $200 a month into insurance and they pay 5% into their 401k, because shut up, people should be able to put money into their retirement. Because if you're not doing it now, you're never going to get to start doing it later. So after those two things come out of their paycheck and their taxes are paid, they bring home $53,850 a year from a $75,000 paycheck. Average rent in my state for a one-bedroom apartment, because an adult should be able to live by themselves, $1,700. That car payment at 6% for an entry-level, very reasonable sedan, nothing fancy, that car payment's $579 a month. Car insurance, $240 or so a month for a lot of vehicles in this day and age. You're a young person, you've got a nice job, but the insurance companies still want to screw you over. Food. You only cook at home. You never, ever go out. You only cook at home and you only eat decent quality food because a human being should be allowed to eat decent quality food. You pay $879 a month for that. You spend $250 a month in gas. You wear and tear on your car $100 a month. $80 for your phone, $80 for your internet, $175 a month for your electricity, $70 for your water, $20 for your cash. You make 75 grand a year, and outside of a car payment, you have zero debt. Do you know how much money you have left over annually at a $75,000 wage? You do nothing. You don't own a Netflix. You don't go out on a date. You don't pay to go to a park. You don't go watch a movie. You do nothing. If you can't find it on the internet for free, you don't get to do it. If you can't cook it at home for your $800, you don't get to do it. You have $3,700 left over annually. That's like $320 a month. And there's going to be, well, dog's $300. Shut up. Shut your stupid, contrarian, edgelord mouth. That's not a doctor bill, because God knows just because we have insurance doesn't mean that we don't still pay far out the ass when we go to the doctors. People like to be entertained. They want to date. They want to... There's those of you out there that will tell somebody living like this on $75,000 a year before taxes that they are not doing what they're supposed to do, that they should get a second job, that they should get a side hustle, that they should get a better job. And the fact that you would look at somebody with no debt other than a car and say something like this to them means objectively you're a moron and you live in a fantasy world. This is unsustainable.
The MAGA movement wasn't just a political campaign. For millions, it was hope, a lifeline, a promise that someone was finally listening to the forgotten, the working class, the overlooked. And he speaks for us, they said. He'll bring back jobs, they believed. And here we are in 2025, and the dream is cracking. From small towns to suburbs, many former Trump supporters are waking up to a really painful reality. Factories are not reopening, wages are not rising, healthcare is not getting any cheaper. And for some, the final straw wasn't political, it was very personal. Losing their farms to climate disasters while hearing denial from the top, watching billionaires get tax breaks while them themselves are drowned in medical debt. And realizing that the other they were told to blame weren't the real enemy. One former MAGA voter put it really well. They said, I lost friends, I lost family and peace of mind over a man who never even knew my name. And the internet is now filled with confessions from Reddit threads, from TikToks, podcasts of ex-MAGA believers sharing their stories. Some are really angry, others are heartbroken, many feel ashamed, but all of them share one thing in common: regret. And not just about who they voted for, but what they allowed themselves to believe. And while some are doubling down in denial, others are stepping back and asking deeper questions. Was it a distraction? Did they just use our pain for power? And in the end, MAGA regret isn't just about Trump. It's a mirror held up to a nation that still hasn't fully dealt with its deepest wounds. That is racism, inequality, fear, division. And maybe this regret is the beginning of reckoning. Let me know in the comment section what you think.